Happy Tuesday, Jar of Pain babies. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Boy, is it awesome to be here. I feel so grateful to be in your ears right now, wherever and however you're listening, whether you're driving or maybe you're taking a shower. That's really the only way people listen to podcasts, so we'll leave it there. Or maybe you're cooking. Maybe you're cooking dinner. This is a great episode. It's just called Profundity because I said that word and I didn't realize it was a word, and now I have to call the episode that. So thanks for being here. Ask your questions at jarofpain.com. Tell a friend about the podcast. We're going to get you right in there. You're safe. You're beautiful. You're loved. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Keep dreaming. Keep moving. Jar of Pain, what time is it? 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 Welcome back to the Jar of Pain podcast, the podcast where we answer life's toughest question. My name is Matt.
My name is Ben.
And those questions are from silly to serious. Questions people like you put in this jar at jarofpain.com. Now, if you've been following along, which I know some of you have, we've been running out of questions, but I'm happy to announce there's too many questions to currently count, which means the doomsday clock is reset. We don't have to do it anymore. If you stop asking questions, we will.
I mean, we could count these questions. Like, it's super easy.
No, I don't want... They can't come out of the jar if we don't... This is a sacred place.
That's fair.
I've never once washed this jar, and it's held up pretty good. But you can see around the rims, there's some greasy hands.
There's some grime.
There's some
us.
grime.
Yeah.
There's some grime. It's like a fish tank. You don't have to clean it. The fish clean it with their poop.
Fish clean, except for the cards can't clean it.
Maybe one day, if AI gets advanced enough.
One day.
This is dumb. We should dive in.
Okay,
I don't want to go into...
You know what? Let's just do
Let's
it.
just dive.
Let's just shut the fuck
Let's
up.
just dive
Let's just
right
let
in.
the questions do the talking.
That's right.
Jar of Pain. What time is it?
Okay. That is a question pulled from our theme song that I wrote that says, Jar of Pain, what time is it? And I see you've loaded up the next one right away because this is a quick one.
Just ignoring
What
it.
time is it? It's time for the podcast.
So shut the fuck up and listen.
Get creative.
And get creative. Well, I mean, that one's not bad. That's clever.
Yeah, it
That
is.
was
It's an
clever.
insider reference, which is fun.
Insider reference.
Yeah.
Also, just a reference to anyone who's like, if you were watching the podcast, then you had the theme song,
Yeah.
so they know.
I make you listen to it, although I've shortened it. I'm not sure if you've noticed.
I haven't.
I want to throw people right in there. I don't want to. 30 seconds is too long. What am I?
30 seconds. What is this? 2006?
What is this? An episode of Real World Las Vegas with Trishelle?
What is this? Fucking episode, a cartoon episode from 2006 with a 30-second intro?
That's what I'm saying. We've grown past that. We're cooked. Get him in.
Get him in.
Fast service.
Throw it in the microwave.
That's right. Also, shout out anybody who got my Real World Las Vegas Trishelle reference. That is a really niche reference. She was part of my sexual awakening.
Amen. Fuck, marry, kill. Naan, tortilla, Hawaiian roll.
Interesting. I can kill one off right away.
Who are you going to kill?
Do you have a kill already in mind?
Yeah.
Okay, on the count of 3, let's do it, right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Hawaiian roll.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Fuck those things. They're
Fuck.
not that good.
They're not that good.
It's like candy bread.
It's fine. And I'm going to tell you right now, bread in general, I'm like, take it or leave it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like a sandwich, but I'm not like freaking
They're
out
good
about bread.
for... Have you ever done like those baked sliders where you cut the whole loaf of Hawaiian roll in half and you put like ham and cheese on them?
I don't understand sliders. Why have tiny sandwich when you can have big sandwich?
Because at a party with multiple food options, kind of grab and go type appetizers, it's nice just to have a little sandwich.
That I will accept, but like
But I'm not eating sliders for dinner.
like White Castle or Arby's, miss me with that. Give me the adult.
The only way I understand sliders, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
I'm
good.
passionate.
It's fine. Rip it.
Variety.
Explain to me sliders.
I would if I could have a slider trio, a mushroom Swiss burger, classic bacon cheeseburger, and like California burger, I understand that.
Sure.
But if you're getting 3 of the same, I don't get it. The only way sliders works for me as a meal, as a dinner, you need to have variety.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
So do you know who you would marry? I have a firm...
let me look at it again.
Yeah. Take your time. Although we are getting lunch after this, and I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything today.
Agreed. I think I know who I'm going to marry.
Okay, count of 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Tortilla.
Naan. Oh. Tortillas are fine, but I love a curry. I love naan.
Yeah, but tortilla you can use so much.
If I could only eat Mexican food or Indian food the rest of my life, I would choose Indian food.
I haven't had enough of Indian food to get, but like
there's so many options.
Mexican food is just so.
It's good, but it's really good.
It's the same 3 things, just in different ways and shapes, which is delicious.
Yes.
Which is why I would marry it, because it's...
But, dude, when is Mexican food the best? What times of day?
Lunch and dinner?
No, not dinner. I think it's best lunch or late night. And that, to me, is a fuck situation.
Good point.
Afternoon delight, after bar smash.
Good point. However, what kind of Mexican are you getting late night?
Taco Bell.
That's not Mexican. How dare you?
It's Tex-Mex. What do you think Mex stands for?
Tex-Mex.
It's Tex-Sex.
Taco Sex-Mex.
Sex-Mex title. It's not a bad title.
It sounds like a gas station.
Right next to the Come and Go. I just love Indian food. I think it's okay if we disagree on this.
No, that's fine. I need more Indian food before I could, And
ironically, a lot of Indian people, the culture there is arranged marriage. So ironically, you wouldn't you'd probably get to know them, but your decision is made for you.
You wouldn't be able to pick out the naan bread.
Yeah.
They would be like, hey, we got this naan bread.
Learn to love it. Because this is the rest of your life. Learn to love it. Title.
Learn to love it. I hope you find that naan bread.
Me too.
And I wish we had.
And we are getting tacos after this.
There's an Indian buffet in Chippewa.
I'm not going to Chippewa.
That's fair.
I don't understand people that go to Chippewa. Why would I go 10 miles for something I can have here?
Because we don't have Indian here.
We don't, unless we want to go to the mall.
Susie Q, number 3. What's the opposite of clean necks?
Clean neck?
Clean necks.
Kleenex. You
So,
say it weird.
What's the opposite of Kleenex?
There you go. Well, what is Kleenex?
I think the opposite of Kleenex would just be a tissue paper filled with cum.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have to be messy. Is the opposite of Kleenex mess?
Clean mess.
I think the opposite of Kleenex is a mess of some kind.
Dirty necks. I mean...
Dirty necks is the opposite of Kleenex.
This is just it. What...
This person was stoned.
This person was stoned, and they have a better answer than us.
And they have maybe write in your answer and we'll read it.
Please do. Please follow up that that question.
Just put it into the same thing you put the question in. We'll get the answer somehow. I'll let our guy know it's coming.
Just put, this is the answer to the opposite of Kleenex. Because, like a rag?
Yeah.
Like a paper towel?
Also, a note from the guy. So if you guys don't know, I do like a drug deal with our question guy to get these. He hands me a bag of these. He did tell me there were some questions he did not put in because they were extremely long. Like almost as if it was like an AI generated, give me the longest question ever.
I would answer
And
that.
he said it wasn't a good question. It was just like a story that ended with a question. Don't do that. Because it has to fit on this.
Honestly, just give us the question. We'll make the story.
We'll make the story.
We'll make the story to answer the question.
Mayor of Cumtown will make the story.
The Mayor of Cumtown 2025
Yeah.
will make that story.
You don't have to give us a story.
Beginning, middle, end, premise.
But if it doesn't fit on a note card,
Climax.
we can't put it in the jar. So that's just a note for you guys.
Punchline. We'll do that. Just a note for you.
Like less than 50 words, probably.
50 words?
Less than. Up to 50 words.
That's a paragraph. That's several paragraphs.
It's shorter than you think.
50 words.
I'm a writer now.
I am also a writer who writes short jokes, and 50 words is a lot of words.
Right, but I all the time have to trim things down by word count. I have to be very conscious of word count because it's going into a magazine.
Okay, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
50 words is not as many as you think.
He's giving you room.
It's like 2 sentences, 3 sentences maybe.
I would say 20. Matt's in charge with the word count.
I'm in charge of the word count.
He's saying 50. If it was me, 12.
Ideally,
12.
20. 15 to 20.
How many words is this question? 5 words. That's good. word
Economics.
word ratio question. Yeah, word economics question. Okay.
But we'll take up the 20. I'll even do 50 if you really want to ask something crazy. But that's probably the limit.
Someone's going to give you a 50-word question, and you're going to be like, this is too many words.
Okay, well, challenge has been
Let's
proposed.
shake on it. Shake on it. If someone ends up doing it.
Let's shake one more time.
Someone ends up doing it. It's a shit question.
Yeah, it's on me.
You buy me California tacos next time.
Okay.
And if it's the other way around, I'll buy you California tacos next time.
Okay.
Okay. Now time for this perfectly worded amount of words question. What's the second best state?
Second best?
I'm assuming Wisconsin's first in this.
Yeah, well, I actually think Wisconsin's awesome.
Wisconsin is
As
awesome.
someone who's been all over the country and seen the best and the worst of it, Wisconsin, we have beautiful hills, rivers, fields. We've got the Great Lakes, so it almost feels coastal when you're on the Great Lakes. Like some of those small towns right on the edge there, it feels like you're by the ocean. I just love it here. People are generally kind. We have a good mix of like political leanings, so like we're not too far up any ass.
Yeah.
You know? You can find cultural hubs like Eau Claire or Madison or Milwaukee if that's what you're kind of going for. But you can also like get out and be totally alone out in the sticks.
True.
We have lots of hiking trails. I really love it here. I think it's the best. Now it does get cold.
It does get cold.
But I think the cold unites us in a way that makes us nice, and the snow. Because we're all going through something together that we can't control, and it's a very easy thing to be like, wow, it's cold. And somebody you don't know goes, I know, it's terrible. And you're like, ha, and you agree on something first.
Yeah, it's not like that in LA. In LA, it's like, oh, the weather is so beautiful. And then some other
Unless
ones
there's a
like
wildfire, and they have a lot of those.
And then guess what? I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't give a shit that LA was on fire. You know what happened? You know what the temperature was in Wisconsin when LA was on fire? Fucking -12.
Yeah.
Send some of that heat this way, LA. Okay? We could use it more than you.
I do think it's terrible that people lost their homes, but I'm a nice person and you're a mean person.
Yeah, well, guess what? Don't live there. There's fires there every year, and I have to give a shit. It's like when there's a hurricane that hits Florida. You expect me to give a shit? They told you it was coming.
They can't even get insurance because there's so many hurricanes.
Move.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say it right now. It was a bigger tragedy that Texas froze over than fucking LA going in a wildfire.
Both are tragedies. Both are bad to me.
What is worse?
We're not here to discuss what's the worst state. We're here to discuss what's the second best state.
And I'm going to say Tennessee because it's the only other state I've been in. And when I was in there,
that's the only other state you've been in?
Well, like I had to drive through the other states, but like lived for enough amount of time to get a good sense of it.
Sure.
The weather's good all year round.
Yeah, it does get cold, but not like here.
It's not like here cold at all whatsoever.
They do have ice. They get ice storms, which I don't love.
Take an ice storm over.
But the whole city shuts down when there's an ice storm.
Yeah, that's because they are a bunch of pansies.
Well, they don't have salt trucks.
Yeah, they don't have
the stuff to do it.
They don't have the infrastructure for it, which I'm pretty sure when I was younger, that was the first time I learned what infrastructure was when they were like,
I'm sure you did.
We can't snowplow this.
It's like 3 inches and people are like, that's my whole week.
It's not even 3. It's like a dusting.
Yeah.
It's a dusting of snow and people are just freaking out.
Yeah.
Man.
Tennessee is nice. I've also lived in Tennessee, but I lived in a city. I don't like cities, but it's beautiful on the outskirts of the city, and it's beautiful in the hills in the old Appalachians.
Nashville?
Yeah,
I lived in Franklin.
Is that close?
It's like right outside Nashville.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Yeah, it's like right next to it. I think it might be a suburb or whatever, but
it's probably a suburb now. There is that where the museum is?
I don't know. I only lived there for like 8 months.
Yeah. Me too.
Let's go.
I'd like to make a pitch for Ohio.
That is a take.
I know it's a wild pitch. Everyone hates Ohio for no reason. I've spent, for some reason, a lot of time in Ohio because that's where we used to record.
Right.
So I've spent, weeks of time at, multiple weeks of time in Ohio.
Yeah.
And I've played lots of shows there. You got 3 cities. You got Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. Columbus, sick. Shout out to my friend Nova. I know you're listening. Columbus is sick. It's like an arts and cultural hub in the center of the state. It doesn't get as cold there as here. They still get snow. You still have 4 seasons. They do lean politically to the right, but like you have these big hubs that are like, strongholds of liberalism. So you can find, it's similar to Wisconsin where you can find your space that you like.
And meth.
There's meth everywhere.
But it's like really there. It's really there and it's really here.
Yeah, Wisconsin has lots of meth too.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it's like
it's kind of like Wisconsin.
It's Wisconsin on East Coast time.
But what they don't have is the lakes. We have so many lakes here because of the Ice Age and how the ice sheet covered half the state. So up north, there's a bunch of lakes and the land was ravaged. So like there's a lot of hills and
What's above Ohio?
Nothing. Wait, yes, there is. Is it Indiana?
No, Indiana's to the left. It's Illinois,
Looking
Indiana,
at a map.
Ohio.
Michigan? It's Michigan.
Michigan's above Illinois or Indiana.
No, but it's also above Ohio because when you come out of Michigan, you get thrown straight into Toledo, Ohio, and then you get into Pennsylvania like right away.
Gotcha.
So I think Michigan is above. Well, I'm going to put a map up, and we're going to see how wrong we are. And I'm going to put that meme of the girl trying to figure it out. Yeah, I think it's Michigan.
Okay.
Because Indiana, you go through Indiana to get to... Wait, no. There's going to be a map. Let's not try to figure this out.
Okay.
Because I have no way of figuring it out.
Yeah, we're not going to Marco Polo this.
My vote's Ohio.
Okay.
With everywhere I've been, Maine is very cool, but you're so far away from everything else.
Tell me why the big hubs, the big ones that people would think you would want to pick, aren't the reason.
Can you give me an example?
New York, California.
Upstate New York's kind of a drab.
I have heard this.
It's kind of like you get into Poughkeepsie. It's just kind of is not good. It's like the worst parts of Ohio.
Yeah.
But it's the whole area.
Yeah.
New York City, expensive. It's cool. It's fun to visit. I can't imagine living there. Did you say California?
Yeah.
Expensive. I can't imagine living there. It's fun to visit.
Yeah.
I have this like allure with Los Angeles because I love movies. And I especially love LA movies. You know, the ones that like take place in LA and they have a lot of sunsets in them. And it's all about the beach and crime. Like I love those. I like Lethal Weapon. I love Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
I slept on my neck weird last 2 nights ago and it has not recovered. I don't know what's going on. So I just had a really big pain.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Sure you weren't just thinking about the rent in LA and it just kind of spasmed your neck?
Yeah, I did. It was a spasm like feeling. Yeah, dude. But LA is so expensive. So many people. There's wildfires. Northern California, I've never been to, unfortunately. It sounds completely different.
I heard it's beautiful.
I really like the show Psych that takes place in a town that starts with a B, but it's not Barbados. And for some reason, my brain's only giving me Barbados right now. In my mind, it's going Barbados, Barbados, Barbados.
Yeah.
So I think there are nice places up north that are probably better, probably cheaper, but I don't know. California is not doing it for me anymore. I really like where I live. I think this is the best place. Second best, I would say, is Ohio. I would never live there because I like it here so much.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing.
Okay. This question has 21 words.
I feel like this is a fair question, though.
21 words.
But what's the question?
And it's actually 2 questions because they're greedy.
Oh, you greedy slime ball.
Would you rather have a cat tail that twitches when you're annoyed or a dog's tail that wags when you're happy?
Would I rather have a cat's tail that twitches when I'm annoyed?
Yeah.
Or a dog tail that wags when I'm happy? But
Yeah.
I would assume.
So like you're an animorph, but
we just have a tail.
Yeah.
And it does one of 2 things.
Right.
Twitches when you're annoyed. So the question is, would you rather people know you're annoyed or would you rather people know when you're happy? Happy could get weird. You see like a hot chick and your tail starts wagging. That's a weird thing to observe.
Happy, not horny.
But when I see a nice looking lady, I'm like, oh, beauty exists. I love women.
I think it'd be worse though if like you have like a group of friends, but then there's like one person that you fucking hate.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, "Oh my god, did you hear that fucking?"
And you're just like your tail just starts
fucking
twitching.
No, you hear fucking John got hit by a car, and all of a sudden your tail starts wagging. And
oh yeah, that.
Or like, what is wrong with you? And you're like, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
And then it all comes out, and then your friendships fall apart.
And I think it actually might be good for me if people knew I was annoyed more, because I don't express negative emotions well, because I really want everyone to like me really bad.
Yeah.
And so it might be nice if someone knows I'm frustrated or annoyed, because I can't do it myself.
True.
So if it was like uncontrollable, that actually might benefit my life in some ways.
That's fair.
Or I'm like talking to my boss, my tail starts twitching. He's like, okay, maybe I need to back off a bit.
Also, I think I would like the dog tail, because I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what happiness feels like. I feel like is it like,
I think it's
good?
excitement.
Excitement?
Yeah.
I feel excited all the time sometimes, but I also perform live, so there's that. Unless I'm happy to be performing, if that's what that feels like.
I think if you were doing well, I bet your tail would wag. That's what happiness is. It's a mixture of everything.
The way I'm trying to imagine happiness, it's like a food you've never eaten, but everyone else has, and it sounds really good, and you feel like you've had it before, but you're not sure.
That's what happiness is to you?
Like trying to imagine it.
I mean, happiness isn't a black and white subject. It's not like this is happiness. Happiness is a combination of multiple emotions. Fear, joy, excitement, understanding. Like, it's more complex than just like, because like comfort is not happiness. Getting something you've been working towards and feeling that, exhausted but validated, like those are what happiness is. Like achieving something you worked for is happiness. So like happiness is both hard and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a nebulous concept, and you can feel happy about different things in different ways. Yeah. It's like a gratitude. It's a self-love. It's a validation from other people. That's to me what happiness is. Also, like, I really think for me, it comes from like achieving something, like doing something I've never done before that I worked for or worked hard on, and then people like it. But validation is not happiness either, but it's part of it. I also don't know if happiness really exists.
This is what I'm saying.
It could be a sham.
This is honestly what I'm trying to get to.
Maybe it doesn't exist.
It's not real.
There are positive and negative emotions. Maybe happiness is not real, but seeking happiness means you have a good life, even though it doesn't exist.
There's something deep about what you just said.
There's something really deep.
Something about it should be quoted and put in the Library of Congress or whatever.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll have my own book called Poo Poo Pee Pee by Matthew Hasenmueller.
Okay, that was a fantastic dismount.
I really fumbled the dismount. I really did.
After saying probably one of the most profound things of all time, you had to follow it with a poo-poo pee-pee joke.
That's the show.
That is the show. And what else do we do in this show, Matthew?
We manifest.
We manifest.
You manifest the final question. Happiness is not wait, let me start over. Happiness does not exist. It is a combination. Happiness does not exist. It's a combination. Happiness isn't real. They try to tell you what to feel so they can sell you something to make you happy. Yeah, that's it. I never really got a sense of the beat. I was like really trying to find it, and I had tried multiple different things. I just never connected with it.
I think you did it. It came off kind of like real Phil Collins, Air of the Night type stuff.
Yeah, never got catchy. I tried to make it catchy, and then I couldn't find it, and I just kept changing the melody.
It's all right. It did. It did what it had to do. It manifested a question.
I do think happiness was created so that they can sell you happiness. Okay, that's the last thing I'll say about it.
Is the opposite of a sunset a light switch?
Oh, that's a really interesting thought.
That is an interesting thought.
Because when the sun goes down, the lights do go on.
And also, you can't control a sunset, but you can control a light switch. So it's the opposite both in terms of light and control.
That's so true.
That's actually
it's really good.
Profound question.
It's really good. And let's just big ups to humans. Lights was a good invention.
Lights was a great invention.
It changed the fabric of humanity forever.
It's wild. Someone was just like, you know what? I'm going to see your face at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and they had fires, which again, revolutionary for humanity.
Yeah.
But the ability to like light the town. What? That's crazy. There are people who, if you showed them a lit up town and they're from 1700, they'd be like, well, I bet they had lamps. But they were like kerosene.
Yeah, they had kerosene lamps.
I bet there was a guy whose job it was to maintain the kerosene lamps for the city.
Yeah.
And like fill them up.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And like light them and turn them off at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
That's sick. Dude, Light Switch. We cooked with Light Switch title.
Cooked with Light Switch?
Yeah, we cooked with Light Switch. It's a little abnormal, but...
Whoever asked this one?
I think it's a Hall of Fame question. Now, we don't have a Hall of Fame. Maybe we should.
Hall of Fame questions?
I think this question is so good to me and inspired such profundity. I maybe made that word up.
You know what? Shakespeare made words up all the time. And I think...
Profundity?
Profundity. Definition. It's a noun?
It inspires profoundness.
So
to have profundity.
Is that a verb or an adjective?
I'm not good with what those are.
Okay, it's either a noun.
I'm a professional writer, by the way. I get paid to write.
Or no, because you can't. Like I walk somewhere, but I can't profundity somewhere.
Right.
I can't profundity someone.
But you can have profundity.
Yeah.
But something that has profundity inspires
profoundness. Profound realizations.
So a statement can have it.
Yeah.
A thought can have it.
Can have profundity. No, it can't have profundity. It can have profoundness. Profundity is something that inspires profoundness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that what I said?
I feel like you've been mismatched another way.
I really feel like I have to call the show Profundity.
Joe, Dave, what time?